Beneath the rolling green hills and bustling city streets of Britain lies a hidden world, a secret network of subterranean fortresses frozen in time. These are the wartime bunkers, silent concrete giants built in the darkest days of the 20th century. For decades, they were shrouded in secrecy, their existence known only to a select few. Today, we're going on a journey to peel back the layers of history and step inside these incredible structures. From the nerve center of Britain's World War II defense to the eerie, preserved relics of the Cold War, we'll uncover the stories of the people who lived, worked, and prepared for the unthinkable deep underground. What was it like to operate in these claustrophobic spaces, with the fate of the nation resting on your shoulders? And what chilling secrets do they still hold? Join me as we descend into Britain's secret wartime bunkers and explore a forgotten chapter of its history. Our first stop takes us back to the Second World War. As bombs rained down on London during the Blitz, a new top-secret command center was being built right under the noses of law. This was the Cabinet War Rooms, hidden beneath the Treasury building in Whitehall. From this maze of corridors, Winston Churchill and his government directed the entire war effort. Imagine the tension in the map room, where every move of Allied and enemy forces was tracked on vast wall charts, updated around the clock. The pins and markers you can still see today are exactly where they were left when the lights were turned off in 1945. It's a snapshot of a single moment in history. Churchill himself had a small bedroom here, complete with a direct, scrambled telephone line to the White House. He famously hated sleeping underground, calling it a rabbit warren, but he knew its importance. This wasn't just an office. It was the beating heart of Britain's defiance. A place where monumental decisions were made that would shape the course of the war and the future of the world. Walking through these rooms feels like stepping into a time capsule. You can almost hear the faint echo of urgent voices and the clatter of time. But the World War II bunkers weren't just for politicians and generals. All across the country, a vast network of smaller, often overlooked structures was built to protect vital infrastructure and coordinate local defense. Consider the Royal Observer Corps, or ROC posts. These were tiny, often single-room underground chambers, barely big enough for 2 or 3 volunteers. From these cramped quarters, brave men and women would spot and report enemy aircraft. Their work was crucial, providing the early warnings that allowed RAF fighters to scramble and air raid sirens to sound. Many of these posts are now just derelict concrete shells scattered across the countryside, their entrances overgrown and forgotten. But each one tells a story of civilian courage. Then there were the secret command bunkers for the auxiliary units, Churchill's secret army. These were civilian volunteers trained to be a guerrilla resistance force in the event of a German invasion. Their hidden operational bases, or OBS, were ingeniously camouflaged, often in woodlands or disguised as badger sets. Inside, they stored weapons, explosives, and supplies, ready to emerge and wreak havoc on enemy supply lines. These men were expected to have a life expectancy of just 2 weeks. Their existence was so secret that even their families had no idea. Finding the remains of one of these secret bases today is a chilling reminder of just how close Britain came to invasion and the extraordinary lengths ordinary people were prepared to go to defend their homes. As the shadow of the Second World War faded, a new, more terrifying threat emerged: the atomic bomb. The Cold War ushered in a new era of bunker construction, this time designed not to withstand conventional bombs, but nuclear annihilation. These bunkers were bigger, deeper, and built to sustain life for weeks or even months after a nuclear attack. Perhaps the most famous of these is the Central Government War Headquarters, codenamed Burlington, tucked away beneath the quiet quarry in Corsham, Wiltshire. This was a secret underground city, sprawling over 35 acres. It was designed to house up to 4,000 government officials, including the Prime Minister, in the event of nuclear war. It had its own power station, water treatment plant, hospital, and even a BBC studio to broadcast to the survivors on the surface. For over 40 years, it was kept on standby, a fully functioning ghost town waiting for a catastrophe that, thankfully, never came. The site was so secret that its existence was only officially declassified in 2004. Exploring Burlington is a surreal experience. You walk through miles of corridors lined with dormitories, canteens, and offices, all preserved as they were in the 1980s. The maps on the wall, the files in the cabinets, the vintage telephone exchanges. It is a haunting monument to a conflict fought not with soldiers and guns, but with fear and deterrence. The scale of Burlington was immense, but it was just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Across the UK network of regional government headquarters, or RGHQs, was established. These smaller, but still substantial, bunkers were designed to maintain order in the surviving regions of a post-nuclear Britain. One of the most well-preserved examples is Hack Green's secret nuclear bunker in Cheshire. Originally a World War II radar station, it was converted in the 1980s into a vast underground complex. Walking through its blast doors today is like stepping into a Cold War thriller. You can see the command center where regional commissioners would have governed, the communication rooms filled with now antique technology, and the decontamination suites for those entering from the irradiated outside world. There's even a chillingly realistic medical bay, complete with mannequins showing the horrific effects of radiation sickness. What makes Hack Green so powerful is its attention to detail. It shows the grim reality of what life would have been like for the chosen few. It wasn't about winning a war, it was about surviving an apocalypse. The plans were meticulous, covering everything from food rationing to maintaining law and order, and, most grimly, the disposal of the millions of dead on the surface. Beneath the RGHQs was another layer of defense, a modernized version of the Royal Observer Corps. The ROC posts of the Cold War were not designed for spotting aircraft, but for detecting and tracking nuclear blasts. Thousands of these small, three-person bunkers were scattered across the country, about 8 miles apart. Each was equipped with simple but effective instruments: a ground zero indicator to pinpoint the location of a blast, and a bomb power indicator to measure its yield. Volunteers would have descended into these concrete tombs, sealed the hatch, and waited. Their job was to report their findings back to the regional headquarters, helping to build a picture of the devastation on the surface. Life inside would have been incredibly grim, confined in a space the size of a small car, with basic chemical toilets and provisions for a few weeks. These volunteers were the forgotten front line of the Cold War. Today, hundreds of these posts still dot the landscape, many accessible to urban explorers. They stand as lonely, poignant memorials to the men and women who were prepared to witness the end of the world from a front row seat, all in the name of duty. They are a stark reminder of the widespread and deeply embedded nature of Cold War planning, reaching into every corner of the nation. So what is the legacy of these hidden structures? They are more than just concrete and steel. They are physical manifestations of fear, resilience, and the human instinct for survival. The World War II bunkers represent a nation united against a visible enemy, a story of defiance and eventual victory. They are places of immense historical significance, where the fate of the free world was decided. The Cold War bunkers, on the other hand, tell a different, more unsettling story. They are monuments to a war that was never fought, a testament to the paranoia and unimaginable horror of the nuclear age. They represent a world where survival meant hiding from the sky and governing a nation of ghosts. By exploring these bunkers, we connect with our own recent past in a very tangible way. We are forced to confront the difficult questions these places raise. What does it mean to prepare for the unthinkable? Who gets to survive? And what kind of world is left behind? These bunkers challenge us to remember the fragility of peace and the immense responsibility that comes with possessing world-ending power. They are a crucial, if somber, part of Britain's national story. From Churchill's secret headquarters to the lonely observer posts on a windswept hill, Britain's bunkers are a hidden landscape of history. They remind us that beneath the surface of our everyday lives, there are stories of extraordinary courage, secret plans, and chilling possibilities. Many are now open to the public as museums, while others are being reclaimed by nature, their secrets slowly fading. But their legacy endures, a silent warning from the past. They challenge us to remember, to learn, and to ensure that such underground worlds are never needed again. The next time you walk through a British city or hike across its countryside, remember the history that might be lying just a few feet beneath your feet. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the hidden depths of Britain's past. If you enjoyed this exploration, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into history, and let me know in the comments which piece of hidden history you'd like to see uncovered next. See you in the next one.